In 1994, six actors walked onto a studio soundstage in Burbank, California, and unknowingly stepped into television history. What began as a simple sitcom about friendship and young adulthood became a cultural landmark. Friends captured the spirit of a generation, and its influence has echoed for over 3 decades. But time moves on. Behind the laughter and the unforgettable punchlines, the cast of Friends has lived full, complex lives. Today, in 2025, we look back, not just at who they were on screen, but who they became after the cameras stopped rolling. Jennifer Aniston was 25 when she took on the role of Rachel Green, the runaway bride turned fashion icon. For 10 seasons, her evolution mirrored the transformation of a generation of women, career-focused, emotionally complex, learning to navigate life on their own terms. After Friends, Aniston became one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. Her film career spanned romantic comedies, dramas, and more recently, critically acclaimed roles in television, including The Morning Show. In her mid-50s, Aniston remains an emblem of elegance, resilience, and reinvention, proving her impact was never limited to just one character. Courteney Cox's Monica Geller was the emotional anchor of the group, strong, competitive, but deeply loyal. Her portrayal gave depth to a woman who wanted control, but also connection. Outside of Friends, Cox became a creative force in television and film. From producing to directing, she transitioned gracefully behind the camera, notably with Cougar Town. Now in her early 60s, Cox continues to advocate for creative integrity in Hollywood, and her work remains defined by discipline, intelligence, and vision. David Schwimmer brought nuance to Ross Geller, a character often remembered for his awkward charm and passionate declarations. Beneath the surface, however, was a portrayal rooted in vulnerability and self-doubt, a testament to Schwimmer's skill as a dramatic actor. After Friends, Schwimmer turned his attention to theater and directing. He lent his voice to global animation hits, but also returned to the stage in serious roles. Today, at 58, Schwimmer remains a thoughtful figure in the industry, quietly principled, deeply engaged, and always focused on the art. Lisa Kudrow's Phoebe Buffay defied convention. She was unpredictable, absurd, and yet often the wisest voice in the room. Kudrow's comedic brilliance gave life to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional, but instead became unforgettable. Since Friends, Kudrow has pursued complex, often experimental projects, The Comeback, Web Therapy, and others. She's also a trained psychologist, bringing depth and empathy to her work on and off screen. At 61, Kudrow is respected as both a performer and a creative visionary. Matt LeBlanc's Joey Tribbiani was the group's heart, naive, kind, and full of soul. While often remembered for his comedic timing, LeBlanc infused Joey with warmth and quiet strength. Following Friends, he starred in the spin-off Joey, and later in Episodes, a show that earned him critical acclaim for playing a version of himself. In more recent years, LeBlanc has stepped back from acting, choosing a quieter life. Now in his late 50s, he's embraced privacy, but for millions, he remains the smiling face that reminded us all to be kind, no matter how much we don't understand. Matthew Perry's Chandler Bing brought a rare depth to sarcasm, masking pain with humor, self-doubt with wit. In many ways, Perry's personal life echoed those same themes. He battled addiction for years and spoke openly about the struggle, turning his pain into purpose by helping others in recovery. In 2023, the world mourned Perry's untimely passing, but his legacy didn't end with Friends. His memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, gave the world an unfiltered look into the human behind the character. It remains a powerful reminder of the toll of fame and the courage it takes to survive it. In 1994, 6 young actors became household names. Today, they are cultural icons, each walking a different path, but forever linked by the roles that defined a television era. For a generation that grew up with them, Friends was never just a show. It was comfort, it was connection, and it was proof that, even through time, tragedy, and transformation, some bonds never fade.